as you are aware, the MOU being signed by Eco Bank and PAPSS with the initiation of the Afrexim Bank, if all plans go into effect, we expect that in sometime January 2024, that is next year, this payment system will take off. What is your take on this initiative at this particular point in time where countries are looking inwards rather than playing alongside the politics of the dominant currency, talking about the dollar? How important is it particularly for the African continental market, where I in Nigeria can use my naira to buy goods in Ghana rather than using the Ghana cedis?
Thank you, Benny. I think you have explained everything. Once again, Via, thank you for opportunity to hear my views on the MOU that was signed on Monday between EcoBank and Afrexim towards the implementation of Pan-African Payment and Settlement System. Let me explain first that what is Pan-African Payment and Settlement System. Benny just said it all. He said that I'll be able to use my domestic currency to be able to buy anything I wanted to buy within Africa. And then the payment will be made to the exporter of the product in its own domestic currency. So that suggests the interlinking of the banking system, an interpayment system that will ensure that the currencies of member states will be linked together in a way in which once at a touch of a button, money leaves your account and then it's crediting the account of who it should credit in terms of the exporter of a particular product. It's a very good development. In ECOWAS Commission, we have a similar one. In fact, we started before Pan-African Payment, which is ECOWAS Payment and Settlement System. I am the consultant in ECOWAS to mainstreaming that assignment. And but something which I think that Afrexim and ECO should have done, since African Continental Free Trade Area is based on building block from the regional economic groupings. They should have actually gone to the REX to be able to know the position of the payment system in each of the REX. And then when they now look at it, they can now connect the entire Africa through that REX payment system rather than a payment system that is going to take individual banks. That one will take a long time because of the fact that there's going to be some legal lacuna. In ECOWAS Commission, we have made things easy. There's ECOWAS Payment and Settlement System, and in the next 1.5 months, the Central Bank of ECOWAS countries, they are meeting again to finalize what is going to be done about ECOWAS Payment and Settlement System, which the ECOWAS Commission and the head of state has actually said that it must take off. Last year in July, a supplementary act on payment system was put in place, which means that within ECOWAS country, you can just buy among member states using your own currency. So I think at individual REX level, something like that is equally existing. And EcoBank, being an initiative of ECOWAS, I think that EcoBank should have actually looked inward to what is happening in ECOWAS before actually going into that
okay,
MOU.
Prof, from this point you've made, it's clear that we're having this both ways coming from ECOWAS as well as the Afrexim Bank. For Afrexim Bank, they are looking to start this initiative. The MOU was just signed a few days ago, and they are looking to take off in January 2024, which is some sort of long time, if you would permit me to say that. But for ECOWAS is taking off like a few months, like you said, hopefully. So I hope that Afrexim Bank and EcoBank will get to learn from the takeoff of that of ECOWAS. But before that comes to play, can we understand how this payment settlement would be made? Are we going to have one central bank to coordinate all of this, both at ECOWAS level? Since you're a consultant in that of ECOWAS, possibly Afrexim Bank and EcoBank will learn from this initiative at this point in time. How is ECOWAS planning to roll out this initiative?
Thank you very much, Benny. You see, what I'm saying is that, you see, EcoBank it was initiated by ECOWAS, right? It's one of the institutions which today ECOWAS can be proud to say that we are actually at the response for it's being established. So EcoBank is going to go into a program in which ECOWAS Commission has committed so much effort in terms of regional payment system, which is ECOWAS payment and settlement system. There's nothing wrong in which they look at where ECOWAS is on the payment system and then take it from there. Because whether you want it or not, this interconnection, which we are saying will start in 2004, it will involve a lot of monetary policy authorities' activity, which is the sole responsibility of the central banks of countries. And since we have Central Bank of ECOWAS, they are meeting in the next maybe a month and a half to come. So the position on the payment system would have been something that would have been factored into the MOU. So it will make the thing easier for the MOU to be able to be effective. And then they can go across to other RECs. We have 8 RECs in the entire Africa. And then get some of this information. And then since African Continental Free Trade Area is going to be building block from the existing REC, they can use the REC's position to be able to actually just join the thing at the head. Now, without doing that, it will involve Afrexim actually going to go to visiting each of these banks by themselves. You know, when you look at the agreement that was signed, they said they expect that the Central Bank of members will have reached a point that we allow them to work. But it shouldn't be like that. It should have been that they are contacted to be able to really make sure what is happening at each of the RECs. That would have been easier. It needs to be more easier and clearer than to base this on information which they were not aware of, and then they are thinking that the Central Bank will do that. So that's exactly what I'm saying. And secondly, Orama is, we work together. I was in research department of Central Bank when he was in the other department that emerged to become a division. And then after a division, it became a Nigerian Export and Import Bank. And then when Afrexim was created, it was in Afrexim. So he is familiar with this process. I think there is need to be able to step backward and then be able to make sure that they facilitate.
Okay, Prof, if you permit me, let me hold your thoughts at this point to say, while we look forward to rolling out of this initiative, how do you see this strengthening our naira? Most so that we have a single currency window now, and we are looking to attract investment, not just from other parts of the world, but particularly in Africa. Most so that we are looking to really start trading in the African continental market.
No doubt, Pan-African payments and settlements is a very good policy. It's a very good initiative. It's going to facilitate trading among member states. Particularly, it's going to allow, we are not going to use letter of credit going through dollar, going through pound sterling, going through euro to be able to trade among ourselves. Clearly, it's going to assist. But in terms of actually looking into the kind of HLA policy which Nigeria is using now, there is no direct impact, but obviously it is going to ensure that we can trade better among ourselves without using dollar and pound sterling. So clearly speaking, it's going to be an easy approach. There's no doubt about that. It's going to expand our business. It's going to lead to economies of scale for companies because they can now sell easily among African countries. We expect a lot of opportunity from the payment system. But it's the approach, which I was commenting upon, that the MOU will consider what is already at the REX level and use the REX level as a basis. Since after is to build on the existing REC.
Well, thanks very much. I'm sure this point is well noted, not just for us Nigerians, but also our counterparts across the African sub-region. Thank you so very much, Prof, for sharing your thoughts with us at this particular point in time. And I say, I, for one, I'm looking forward to seeing that this actually come into effect and takes off smoothly to enhance and encourage trade amongst us in Africa and also beyond. Thank you very much, Prof. Jonathan Aremu.
Thank you.